Hey there. Welcome to Millennium Milestone Presents, a site dedicated to storytelling in books, movies, video games, and other exciting genres, where being someone's midnight snack was absolutely not what I signed up for. Now, I have to confess a sin here. I missed out on reviewing this movie, which came out months ago, so please forgive me for all of those sins included with that as I get into Sinners. Starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Miles Catton, Wumi Mosaku, Jamie Lawson, Omar Benson, and Delroy Linden. Now, while I did forget to record a video to review this, I do have an actual written review of this on criticalist.com, so if you have a chance to go out there and check it out, you can see my written review over there. So here's the story. In 1932, identical twins and World War I veterans Elijah Smoke and Elias Stackmore returned to Clarksdale, Mississippi after working for the Chicago outfit for 7 years. Using money stolen from gangsters, they purchased a sawmill from landowner Hogward to start a junk joint for the local black community. Their cousin Sammy, an aspiring guitarist, joins them despite his pastor father Jediah's warnings about the sins of blues music. The movie is directed by Ryan Coogler, who's most notably has got his start in Fruitvale Station, but also known for Creed, Black Panther, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So the story opens up with the narrator explaining that there are those with a rare and powerful musical gift that allows them to connect to the past, present, and future. This supernatural talent, passed down through musical tradition, has the power to conjure spirits and transcend time. However, this gift has a double-edged sword. While it can heal and unite, it also attracts evil. Now, I'll admit I have mixed feelings with Ryan Coogler. On one hand, I enjoyed Black Panther when it first came out with Chadwick Boseman. It was definitely a fantastic Marvel movie to start with. But then when we go to Wakanda Forever, I do have questionable takes I do have to get into when I review that movie later on. But as for Sinners, he does an immense, wonderful job with this, with telling a story from the Prohibition era. To add to the good number of things that are in this film, Michael B. Jordan does double duty as Smoke and Stack, twins, of course, in this Prohibition era movie, and the amazing film work that was done to have him do both characters in the same scene at the same time is amazing. If you want to check out the behind the scenes footage for this. Another surprising thing that comes out of this is that of Miles Caton, who plays Sam in this, actually the main character for Sinners. He actually does a very phenomenal job of fitting right into the story, and you really get invested in him alone trying to survive this nightmare of a story that's happening. Not to be forgotten is Haley Steinfeld, who plays Mary, the tragic temptress for Stack, who ends up being in servitude to the antagonist, Remick, who's played by Jack O'Connell. Remick and his fellow vampires are all attracted to the music that Sammy plays at this party in Mississippi, and only wants him for what he perceives to be the only key he could have to his ancestors. This sets the stage for a horrific showdown between Remick and his vampires and Smoke's crew trying to survive the night and get away from it until dawn arrives. What I most find impressive about the film is the theme of this about identity, community, and also the gift that Sammy has here. It extends on the idea of holding on to your gift regardless of what comes your way, whatever obstacles, dangerous or minute. Now, if there were any negatives I did have to include with this movie, the story is kind of straightforward and predictable, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But when you're dealing with a horror element that you want to kind of scare people and really get them invested in what's going on, you really want to create a lot of suspense, which is kind of missing in Sinners here. You don't get any moments where you think one thing might turn out to be another thing. It's kind of a straightforward linear story. Maybe as a simple, straightforward example, I would have had Remick be the owner of the property that was being sold to Stack and Smoke to give the impression that he's a friendly, trustworthy person until, before you know it, he's not trustworthy. Perhaps it was Mary who lured the brothers to this property, perhaps because Remick is threatening her with something that would have forced her to bring them to this location. Again, I stress it's only something negative that I have to say about the film. Overall, this is not a bad film at all. This is really good. I love the characters. I love the era that this takes place in, the period piece. And the ending might have been better if they had gone with the additional ending they had in the end credits scene, which I thought was much better than the actual ending that we got in the main film. Otherwise, I would give Sinners excellent. It's definitely above average You could definitely be entertained by this film in many ways. Before I completely end this video, I do want to sum up one other thing that I do want to give props to Ryan Coogler for in this film, and that's the creativity of this. Because, again, I stress sometimes Hollywood is missing on stuff like this. This is stuff that we actually want to see, is creativity and original stories. This is not an IP from some written story years ago. This is not something that came around through some other IP. This is actually an original story that Ryan Coogler put together, and props to him for really putting the work into this. Well, those are my final thoughts on Sinners. I really absolutely want to stress again that I do want to hear from my 373 subscribers that are out there. What, if you had a chance to see this film, what were your thoughts on it? Again, I'm not just trying to grow the channel, but I do want to find a nice balance with what you want to hear, what do you want to see. So if you have a chance, just, if you don't even have to like the channel, just leave a comment just to let me know. Otherwise, like, share, and subscribe. You best better believe I'll be back.